guys, I got some crazy sales info about the Envo L90 here in China. And also Envo CEO is pissed. So I'll talk to you and explain the whole drama between this. There's basically a war of words going on between Envo and Li Auto. And it's the top management stuff, okay? So this is pretty intense. So let's start off with the really crazy news, which is, of course, there has been an Envo sales rep who's gotten 47 locked-in orders all by himself, which is just crazy. And these are all for the Envo L90. Just one person, 47 locked-in orders. And of course, Envo, they've prepared so many of these Envo L90s. They're going to be able to just push these out to customers in August. They've gotten ready a lot of excess supply. But of course, and guys, I try to get a test drive for the Envo L90 and call the Envo manager, all that kind of stuff, but they're fully booked, morning till night. The test drive that I can do would be after 10 p.m. and that's kind of a little bit late. So I was like, you guys work hard, and then I'll maybe test drive the car some other time when you guys aren't so busy. So they are booked, fully booked with the test drives. But also during the phone call, I was like, hey, I saw online that one sales rep, Envo sales rep, got 47 freaking orders, locked in orders. How's it going on, at your shop, at your store? And he was like, yeah, well, we don't have anybody that's gotten like that high, but 20 plus, yeah, they got 20 plus. So some of these sales reps, 20 plus orders, locked in orders per person. That's pretty darn good. And considering they have like about 400 Envo stores, give or take. And then each store has, 5 to 10 people. Sometimes on the lower end might have 4, but 5 to 10 people. Then that adds up to a lot, right? If on average they all have like double digit locked in orders, that's quite crazy. So definitely a lot of people are pulling the trigger. So this is definitely good news. They are selling quite a lot of these cars. So keep that in mind. Now let's move on to the Envo CEO drama. Dr. Shin Fei, former head of NIO Power. So this all started when this one dude, I think he's a content creator, I'm not too sure, Mark Kyle, that's his username, here in China. He posted that he test drove the Envo L90, he test drove the i8, Li Auto i8, and then he said that the i8 suspension feels sort of like a boat. It's wobbling, not as stable as the Envo L90. And then at the same time, he said that the seats are not as comfortable as the Envo L90, and also the storage space is not as much as the Envo L90. And then one of Li Auto's top management, and he's like a vice president at Li Auto, he sort of reposted this with the caption that, is this what the haters are all like now? The i8 hasn't even officially started test drives. So this is, of course, maybe that content creator had media access to the car, maybe, not too sure. But then official test drives haven't started for the i8. So he's sort of the top exec at Li Auto is sort of saying, these haters, they're coming out with all sorts of bullshit because i8 test drives haven't even started, okay? They apparently start on the 29th. That he added that post, and he's sort of insinuating that these haters are all, these bullshit guys are all like Envo and NIO owners, or like it comes from that. So of course Envo CEO had to step in. He stepped in, and then he first of all he said, I recommend you to just report this to the police, and then he followed up this by saying they did an investigation. The content creator, or the origin of this, was not from like Envo or NIO. It didn't originate from Envo or NIO. It wasn't NIO or Envo deliberately saying bad shit about Li Auto i8, basically. And then he demanded an apology from this Li Auto exec to basically, apologize to all NIO and Envo owners for calling them haters and bullshit spreaders and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of gotten like a big war of words. And Envo CEO also followed this by saying, the i8 is a great car, the L60 is a great car, the L90 is a great car. We can all coexist in this market, and we're all great companies. We're just great companies. There's no need for this kind of like verbal attacks and this kind of crazy stuff. But it does kind of show that things are getting a little bit spicy. Today, when I went to the shopping mall, sort of outdoor shopping mall at Shine Hills, I did see, some people interested in the i8. I walked past the Li Auto store, and yeah, it's very natural for people to compare these two cars. And I did a poll, guys. Now, with that poll, 97% of you guys said you'd choose the Envo L90. I was going to make it a little bit more crazy. I would be like, do you want the Li Auto i8 for free, knowing its reputation with twisted ankles and safety stuff, safety concerns? Are you going to feel safe getting the Li Auto i8 for free, or pay full price for the Envo L90? I tell you, I would pay full price for the Envo L90 because, I just don't have that ease of mind driving the other car, knowing they've had numerous incidents where the A, B, C pillars taking away the passengers. So and it was like a tree branch, and that's just crazy, man. So I wouldn't feel safe, getting that car even if it was for free. But that's just my personal opinion, all right? Okay? And, of course, the wheels falling off and that kind of stuff. So that's just my personal opinion. But what about the whole origin of this incident, all right? That the fact that person stated that the Li Auto i8 is more wobbly, like a ship, like a boat. I watched a lot of other professional content creators that do review cars and stuff, and they do agree with this. Actually, they confirm this. And the i8 has softer suspension, which means it's able to filter out bumps and stuff much better than the Envo L90. But the drawback is, of course, it's more wobbly like a boat, and it rocks up and down after a little bump, right? And you do get a little bit dizzy. Whereas the Auto L90 is more stable, a little bit more firmer on the suspension. And you don't get that kind of ship kind of wobbliness, but then you do feel a lot of the road. You get a lot of road feedback, which I tend to like. Okay, I tend to like road feedback and the vibrations, but the i8 filters a lot of that out. So it depends on what you like. Okay, do you want softer ride, but a little bit wobbliness, or do you want a firmer ride, but you feel a lot of the vibrations on the road? So it's all down to personal preference. So this is very, very interesting. And I'm sure, even though the auto strategy is sort of to place it like, how dare you guys compare us with the Envo? Envo is like a completely much lower tier of brand compared to us. Are you way underestimating us? Come on, So they're kind of still trying to do that, trying to spread the message like that. How dare you compare the two of us? But in all honesty, consumers who are looking to buy a pure electric 6 or 7-seater SUV will indeed compare these two cars at the end of the day. So once these cars start delivery, we'll see for ourselves what customers pick. And then once the i8 test drives officially begin, people will test drive both, and of course people will choose what they think is the right choice, right? So I'm very, very confident in this. And we'll have to see how this drama plays out. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.